Hi Melanie, it's lovely to see you again. Your hand function has changed enormously since I saw you last, which is maybe 12 months ago.
Yeah, almost 12 months ago.
Yeah, and now you're on to trying to use a knife and fork. And you're
Yes.
saying you want to be able to eat a steak again, which is...
Yeah, or just eat all 3 meals again with 2 hands. Yeah.
Right. And what's the problem you have at the moment? What's the difficulty?
Endurance is one of them. So I eat my breakfast, which is normally porridge and fruits and cereal. So I can use the spoon with my right hand to eat that. Lunchtime, mainly I have a sandwich, but if I do need a knife and fork, I can usually do that with salad or fish. But by the time I get to dinner, my hand's pretty fatigued. I get a lot of shaking, and sometimes I'm a bit fearful in putting something in my mouth when my hand's really tired, because it's actually happened where I've hit my tooth or it's it's gone in wrong. So it's still a bit challenging, but yeah.
So do you think that's fatigue at the end of the day? Is it kind of related to how much work you've been doing?
I think that's a part of it, but also I still don't have the unconscious. It's still a very conscious movement as well, and I don't think the form and the skill is where it needs to be.
Okay.
So I think it's a combination of things.
It's sort of not automatic in it.
No.
You still have to think very consciously about doing things, and that's double work, isn't it? It's work for your brain and work for your hand.
Yeah.
Can you just show me how you pick up the knife and fork?
Okay.
Can you get that little finger? I notice your little finger's not quite on the knife. That's it, yeah. Well done. Okay, and that shaking that you've got, I noticed that's before too, when you were reaching for a cup as well.
Yes.
Can you have a go at lifting the knife up and keeping it vertical as you normally would for food? Lift it very gently off the table, because the knife doesn't weigh a lot, off the table, and put it gently down. Okay, so this time before you lift the knife off the table, think about trying to keep the rest of your body as relaxed as you can, and compare with the fork. They'd weigh about the same. And very gently lift this hand off the table. And gently down. That's it. You're still using your shoulder a lot.
Okay.
So try, because at this stage you don't need to move your arm forwards.
Okay.
It's more bending your elbow that you're doing. So have a go at doing that again without working your shoulder as much. Very gently off the table. It's not heavy. And gently down. Well done. So you didn't get the same shaky that you're getting before. I'm going to get a knife myself.
Okay.
So, knife vertical. Gently off the table and gently down. So that was more from your shoulder than your elbow. So this stays soft, and you're going to bend at your elbow. That's better. Well done. Gently down. Can you do 3 of those in a row? 1, 2, 3. Well done. You didn't shake. Tiny little bit of shaking on number 2.
Yeah.
Can you do 3 again?
Okay.
Same idea. Before you start, your whole body is sort of almost melting.
Okay.
You're quite strong enough to do this.
So 3 again, Carl?
Yes, please. See if you can, without any shaking. So gently up, gently down. Fantastic. Now, a little bit more complicated. Can you lift the knife up very gently and put it over and put it on the plate gently? Same idea, gently across. And down. And then back to where you started. So the shaking happens more when you start to use your shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think you can change that, but it's going to take quite deliberate practice.
Yeah.
Because you've been working so hard to get your hand to work that all the other muscles kick in to help a bit.
Yeah.
And they don't actually help. They just kind of make it a little bit harder. See if you can do 3 of those in a row. Knife from here across to the middle of the plate and back to the start without your arm shaking. So gently lift the weight off the table across to the plate. Gently down and gently back.
Did you want 3?
Yeah, I do, but
Okay.
that was fantastic.
My shoulder was starting to kick in a bit there.
A little bit, but no shaking. Really well done. So you can change it.
Okay.
So that's an important thing to understand. So when you're practicing, if that shaking starts, it's telling you you're using your shoulder too much.
Okay.
Not that you're not using your shoulder enough, you're actually using it too hard.
Okay.
Your arm is quite strong. You don't need to make it stronger.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Melanie, now there's something to cut.
Okay.
Can you pick up the knife very gently? Try not to use your shoulder to work hard while you're trying to pick up the knife and fork. Well done, well done. You've got it all in place. Now, when you did that last time, when we were talking, you were saying that you thought this might be tone that makes it hard
sometimes
to...
it just claws and stiffens up a bit.
Yeah. Partly, the main reason for that is that to keep the knife stable in your hand, the second, third and fourth fingers need to close, but your index finger needs to open. And quite often when we're trying to do things that need a lot of force, you use all your fingers together. So your index finger works too hard to close, and then you've got to try to let it relax a little bit. So it's not tone, but it's something that you can control. Okay. It's not something that's random. The reason is because these fingers are trying to hold on, and your index finger has a different job to do. So when these fingers are holding on, if you can softly, once again, softly lift your index finger up to put it on the knife. Very gently. So the other fingers stay holding. That's it. Look at that. You've lifted it off the knife and there it goes. So that's something that you can control.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. Can you cut that piece of bread and cucumber into 4 pieces? and put the knife back down. Well done, you've done it. Okay. What I noticed is as you were getting, particularly see how this is kind of pulled apart there.
Yes.
You're actually using the fork to tear the bread and not the knife to
Yes.
cut. So, and partly that's due to the fact of actually using the fingers within your hand with greater control.
Okay.
So even though these two fingers, your ring and your little fingers, they are actually in place, they're not actually doing enough work to keep the knife stable. And if the knife isn't stable, it will move. And so when you're cutting, the knife, instead of being vertical on the food, is sideways.
Okay.
So part of the reason for that is because you're not controlling the muscles inside the hand.
So do I need
These
to
two,
press
ring
down
and
on
lip,
those?
they need to press down harder.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they press down into the palm of the hand.
Okay.
Do it with your left hand. That's it. So see how they come across your hand?
Yeah.
Have a go with this hand. Ah, beautiful. That's the idea. So this muscle here,
Yeah.
which helps to bring those fingers across, is working, but is probably not working strongly enough to keep them in place when you're pushing on the food. So there's a strategy we can try to help to improve that. So I'm just going to get a pair of tweezers and have a look
Okay.
and see how to practice that.
All right.